Welcome to the Average Nobody's podcast, number 94 for August 26th. Got the date right 3 times now, 2020. Welcome to the show. I don't know what's going to come right after this because I don't know if all the podcasts recorded, but most of it did, and it's going to come right now. Yeah. Ryan, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
Go for it.
So similar. I feel like the last time we did like a true what we were watching, it's been a while. So I tried to narrow it down as best I could. I'm going to start off with disappointment.
Okay.
Jumanji, The Next Level. I believe that's what it's called. The newest Jumanji.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Really?
Hated it.
And you said you liked the first one, right?
Loved the first one. I thought the first one was perfect with The Rock, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Karen Gillian or Jillian, whatever. They all played perfect roles. And in this one, they brought in Danny Glover and Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Like before they get into the game. And for some reason, they thought The Rock should play Danny DeVito when they get into Jumanji.
Right.
His accent is so bad, it took me out of the movie. I was so upset. He plays Danny DeVito like he's this like wisecracking New Yorker.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm walking here. What are you doing? Like, Danny DeVito doesn't talk like that. He just talks like he has his specific accent, but I hate it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
I would be interested to hear people who enjoyed it and why, because I just didn't like it. Because The Rock is such a huge part of that movie, and it's all the accent. It didn't need to add DeVito and Danny Glover. Although Kevin Hart plays Danny Glover, like to a T.
Really?
Oh yeah, perfect. But
so, do you think that Jack Black would have been better off doing Danny DeVito?
I don't know why they didn't. Like, he was so good as the girl, like the high school girl.
Oh
in the
my
first
God.
one. He was the best part. But they just, I don't know why they thought The Rock could pull this off. He could not. It was not good. So that was a disappointment. I also watched Hamilton. I feel like we haven't talked about that at all.
No, maybe not.
I don't think so.
That was you've seen Hamilton.
I've seen Hamilton, but then I saw it with the original cast, obviously just amazing. And it actually, so I saw online, the reason I wanted to bring it up, it made up for 37% of all streaming in the month of July across all platforms.
That's wild. And it came out at the beginning of July.
Yeah, it came out July 3rd.
Yeah. So it had, I mean, it
did
must
have
be,
the whole
I
month.
want to see the breakdown of where everybody watched it and how much of that percentage came from like the first 2 weeks of July.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm sure it was a lot. But I mean, blew me away. I had high expectations, but I still thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
On your recommendation, I watched The King of Kong.
Tell me
I watched
everything.
it that same night.
Tell me everything.
It was, I don't know. I felt like I was transported into like a not real world.
Adam, do you know anything about The King of Kong?
No, never heard of it.
So it's about, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, so it's about, this is on Matt's recommendation. So it's about these video game world record holders. So the people who have like the world record for Donkey Kong and all these like arcade games. And this guy, I forgot his name, but he started this thing where he just like keeps track of all the records. So like this guy Billy Mitchell was like the world record holder in Donkey Kong and all these different other arcade games, and then it was almost like their own Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
So they would keep track of it, and this was his high score, and then people would try to beat it, but in order to beat it, you would have to like videotape yourself playing it, and then they would have to authenticate it, and then they would add it into the records.
Yeah.
And it's just following all these cast of characters who look exactly how you think they look.
Yep.
These people who dedicate themselves to video games, not to stereotype, but
it's also a very like for the times, like this is like mid 80s.
Yeah.
Like you like mid 80s early arcade games, and like it's just like these people fit the bill exactly. Stereotypical, yeah.
Yeah, and Billy Mitchell is the villain. It's kind of cool because it's the villain, and then everyone like is obsessed with this guy because he was so good, and he's the biggest dickhead.
He's such a dick.
He's one of those people where like he thinks he's the coolest guy in every room.
Yeah.
But he's only the coolest guy in one tiny specific room.
How about like the fact that he owns like the chicken restaurants,
and
he sells the hot sauce.
I never heard of his hot sauce. Maybe it's a local thing.
It might not be sold in stores around here, but like he's just such a great villain, and everybody eats everything he puts out. And he wouldn't even talk to that
other guy. Wouldn't even talk to him. Wouldn't even show up and play.
Yeah, poor Steve Wiebe, man.
Yeah, so Steve Wiebe's a guy who used to work for Boeing.
Yes.
And then he was fired, and then he became like a history or like a social studies teacher or a science teacher.
Yeah, I think a science teacher.
And he lived in Redmond, Washington, right next to Robert Emma. And but he lived in, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to try and beat this record. So he beat it, but then he sent the video in, and they determined that he was colluding with this other world record holder who hates Billy Mitchell, and the guy's like, no, I actually just beat it.
They sent people out to his house, Adam, to like check out the arcade machine he was using to break the record.
It's insane. It's a documentary. It's
really?
It's wild.
It's very worth it. I think you have to rent it. No, I didn't have to rent it. It's on one of the apps. I don't know if it's Amazon or Hulu or something.
It might be Amazon. I have it. I bought it on iTunes because I watch it so often and so many times.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating is definitely the best word to describe it.
I mean, worst comes to worst, I think it's $6 on iTunes, but it's such a good documentary. It's so well done. It's filmed with like not high quality cameras either. It was filmed a while ago, but even for when it was filmed, the cameras were probably old. Like it wasn't new technology, so it's very dated, but it tells a story. Like, and that's the key that's the key for documentaries. Felt so bad, but he ended up getting it in the end, and it's recognized. Cool. I don't know if he is the current holder of the record, because I go to Twin Galaxies and check it, but he's at the top.
Yeah,
and he'll always be the first one to pass 1 million.
Yeah,
I mean that's they've honored that, so that's cool.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend that. I mean, I think you need a specific, it's not for everyone, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool.
No, it was very, very cool.
Then I watched Little Woman.
What do you think about that?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Absolutely amazing. Highly recommend. Greta Gerwig, Saoirse Ronan, Emma Watson, Florence Pugh, Eliza Scanlon, Laura Dern, Timothée Chalamet, Tracy Letts, Bob Odenkirk, Chris Cooper, Meryl Streep. Like, the cast is just unbelievable.
Yeah, dynamite cast.
The four sisters, really, really good chemistry. Laura Dern, which she won Best Supporting Actress, the Oscar, but for a different movie.
Yeah.
But they were all really good. Saoirse Ronan was fantastic. The costume design, I'm watching it because it takes place in the 19th century. I'm like, the costume, this like the way they set these places up, like what they're wearing, it's like unbelievable. They won the Oscar for best costume design, so it kind of makes sense. But the movie itself was really, really good. The cast was great. Love Greta Gerwig, and it seems like Saoirse Ronan's her like muse, kind of like how De Niro is for Scorsese. Like, I feel like they're going to keep doing a lot of things together because they've done Lady Bird, now they've done Little Woman, and Saoirse's still pretty young. But I would highly recommend that. Then I watched The Rental, which is Dave Franco's directorial debut.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So
it just came out, and it was really, really interesting. So the premise is it's two brothers, and the older brother is like a very successful, they don't really necessarily go into what he does, but he's very successful at whatever he's doing. And played by Dan Stevens, who is the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, like the most recent one.
Yeah.
And he was also in that Eurovision movie, Adam.
Yeah, I watched that. That was really funny.
Yeah, so he played like the really good singer from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
That guy. So he's like the older brother, and then his wife is Alison Brie, who's also Dave Franco's wife in real life. And then you have Jeremy Allen White, who's
she? Huh.
Yeah, they're married. Must be nice, right? And then the guy Dan Stevens, his character's name is Charlie, and his younger brother in it is Jeremy Allen White, who's Lip from Shameless.
Yeah.
And his wife her name's Sheila Vand.
Sheila Vand. That sounds familiar.
She's on her IMDb. She's in Argo and Triple Frontier, but when I looked at those movies up on IMDb, she's not in there. I feel like she has small roles in it.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's the older brother and his wife, which is Dan Stevens and Alison Brie, and then his younger brother, Jeremy Allen White, who's Lip, and Sheila Vand. They rent a property in like the remote mountains, kind of like on a lake, for the weekend. And they go, and like the guy who is like taking care of the property is like really kind of sketchy. And Sheila Vand is Muslim or Arab, and she wanted to rent it like 24 hours before the older brother did, and he denied her. And then obviously the older brother is a white guy, so there's like that tension to it. And then they notice that there's like things going wrong in the house, so it's kind of like a thriller horror movie.
Okay.
But it was really well done, and I really liked the way that Dave Franco directed it. Like, he got very creative with a lot of the shots. And it seems like it was a lot of like letting the actors come to where the camera was. So I was like, instead of like, like floating shots or whatever, he would just have the camera in a spot and then the action would come to that.
Okay.
And the house was like, it was all pretty much in one or two sets. Most of it was in this huge house, but very interesting, especially if you like horror thrillers. I really like that. And then I've been watching Lovecraft Country, which just started on HBO. Have you? I know Adam isn't going to start it until it's over, but
I haven't started it yet.
It's fantastic. Really good cast. So you got Jonathan Majors, who was just in Defy Bloods, the new Spike Lee movie. So he was one of the guy's sons. Jumi Smollett is in it. Courtney B. Vance and Michael Kenneth Williams, who's best known as Omar on The Wire. Mm-hmm. So it's cool because it's called Lovecraft Country because it's actually based on a book of the same name, but that book is like a flip-flop of a lot of H.P. Lovecraft novels. So I didn't know before starting the show that Lovecraft, like, hugely into science fiction, alien monsters, all that type of stuff, but he's also a horrible racist. He's like a big Hitler supporter because he was coming up as a writer in like the 20s and 30s. So in his movies, all the monsters and all the antagonists were either like supernatural or black people. And all the protagonists and heroes were white people. So this one kind of flips it on its head. And it's like it takes place in 1950s, and it's just such a flip-flop of what you're taught like Americana is.
Yeah.
So it's, the Norman Rockwell painting, Leave It to Beaver. It's like, oh, this is 1950s America. Everything's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, for white people, like in the suburbs. But they show it as, it's from the black perspective in the 50s. So, and they're like battling monsters, like actual monsters, like Lovecraftian monsters. And they're also battling racism.
That's cool.
It's really cool. It's only been 2 episodes. The first episode was a movie, which HBO does really well. It was like an hour and 10 minutes, and I've just felt like it literally felt like you were introduced to these characters, they went through this thing, and then it ended.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that's a great movie. That was episode 1. And then episode 2, it like kicked off from there. But I would highly recommend it. I know Adam's not going to watch it until it's over because he wants to binge it.
I'm going to start it. I just haven't had a chance yet to.
Yeah. It's a lot. You probably would have to watch the episode multiple times. And then
I'd rather binge it and like keep it's all fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was just saying to Jen the other day, we watched The Watchmen in 2 days, and then the second day was the day of the finale, and watched the finale live.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to do it. This one's like a lot more intricate though. There's a lot more going on. Even more so than Watchmen, but I'll leave you to it. And then I don't want to get too much into this one because I know this is on your list, Matt, but I'm dick deep in a Lost rewatch. And I'm almost done. We're on the finale of season 2.
How far is it dick deep?
So the first 2 seasons are 49 episodes.
Okay.
So that's dick deep.
How many?
That's
49. 25 episodes in the first season, 24 in the second.
Holy shit.
And they're like legit 45-minute episodes. And they're episodes you really got to pay attention to and focus on. So it's not like you can just it's not a background show, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's such an enjoyable rewatch show. I mean, the characters, like the music, they do like the best. It reminded me of The Sopranos in this way. They do the best dream sequences for the characters. But I'm excited for you to go on this journey. We're going to keep going. So
Tony season 6 dream sequence when he's what's the character?
Kevin Finnerman.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Very good. So that's what. Sorry, I went out a little long, but that's what I've been watching.
No, that's fine. So I've been watching. I watched La La Land this week just because I really fucking love that movie and I've seen it a million times, and also because I've been teaching myself piano a little bit over quarantine.
Hey.
And like specifically just so I can play the songs from La La Land. They're very hard. I will say I have the sheet music. It's very hard and not at my level yet, but I'm going to work my way up to it, and that's like my goal is I want to play some of the songs from La La Land. I feel like I can get City of Stars down pretty quick. It's not too difficult. And then I watched The Tax Collector, which is David Ayer's new movie. I liked it.
How was that?
Yeah, I liked it. I did. It was. I thought that Shia LaBeouf put in a good role, but it really wasn't his movie. It was Soto's movie. I forget his first name. Not David. Maybe it was David Soto. I don't know.
Bobby?
Bobby Soto.
It
That's
is,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome, so good, and yeah, I think David Ayer's just like it was like kind of like I think it's gonna be a hidden gem. I think it's gonna be one of those movies where like people are gonna look over because it came out straight to streaming, and it also had a lot of mixed reviews, and also people were very angry that Shia LaBeouf, like from the trailer, it kind of looked like Shia LaBeouf was playing a Latino character, which he wasn't. He was white. He was casted as white, and obviously Shia LaBeouf is white, but he's a character. David Ayers explains it like he's a character that grew up in a like Latino neighborhood.
Okay.
And like this is just his accent and the way he talks is all a product
From
of
his upbringing.
a product of him growing up with Bobby Soto and his character as they're both. Bobby Soto is the tax collector for all the gangs in the area that pay up to the big boss, who is actually Nero from Sons of Anarchy.
Ah.
Cool.
Yeah, and Shia LaBeouf is his name is Creeper, and he's his like muscle, and he just goes around and like, if you don't pay, Creeper fucking gets you, and he's an absolute psychopath. But like a good character, like very endearing, like because it goes into a lot with his family, with not Shia LaBeouf's, but Bobby Soto's family, his wife, his kids, his aunt, his uncle, his cousins. It goes into all of that and how everybody's like kind of in the family business and all that. So George Lopez is his uncle.
Oh. What's he doing?
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, good.
I'm still watching Gotham. I'm chipping away. It's getting slow.
Justine is not pleased.
I don't know why. She's not pleased that I like it.
She doesn't like it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not a good show, and a lot of the characters are straight on the nose. I was explaining this last week or a couple weeks ago, but it's just like a good it's like the opposite of Lost. It's a great background show. Just put it on. Like I hear
when you pop in, you're like, oh.
I hear Mr. Freeze, I lift my head. I put my head back down. I hear Selena Kyle, I lift my head. I put my head back down. That kind of thing. So that I finished I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which is the HBO documentary about the East Area rapist / what else was his?
Golden State Killer.
Golden State Killer. Last episode was tremendous. It kind of focused more. It's focused in on Michelle McNamara, who is the writer of the book by the same name, and who is also she passed, but Patton Oswalt was her husband. And he talks a lot about her, and it talks about her like final days, and then of course like in the end, you get kind of some. I won't go into it, but you'll get some relief from the case, like after she died, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was a very good documentary.
Yeah, so very very good documentary. It's another HBO documentary. I can't recommend it enough. I've been watching the Unsolved Mysteries reboot on Netflix. I love it. They have everything. They have aliens. They have unsolved murders. Love it all. There's a lot of stuff. They're already coming out like season 2. Season 2 is already coming in the fall, and also there's a lot of these cases that are being reopened because of the show.
I love that.
One of the kids, this guy, it clearly was a hate crime. It's episode 1, I think. I watched them out of order because Lindy had already seen some. It was clearly a hate crime. They just could never pin anybody down. They just exhumed his body. Like he died in 2006. They just brought his body up from the grave to like do more tests and things. Yeah, because I guess they've advanced in like the science that they could. Yeah, so all good stuff. It's very good. I don't like that there's no host like Robert Stacks. There's no guy in a trench coat.
Host.
Right. There's no guy in a trench coat.
Dark alley with all the steam.
What? Yeah, right.
That was real, too.
Yes. What Jordan Peele did correct with the new Twilight Zone show was that he did the same thing that Rod Silva did, which was he did like the interstitched host. Rod Sterling. What did I say?
Rod Silva.
Silva?
You thinking Rod De Silva?
Yeah, I think that's
Rod
what I'm thinking
Stewart?
of.
Same guy.
That's definitely what I'm thinking of.
All those signs.
But no, I'm thinking of Rod
Sterling.
Or
Sterling.
He kind of interstitched the host where like he was there, but also he wasn't. Like it was very Twilight Zone. But I think that Unsolved Mysteries could have used that instead of just throwing up the title screen and going right into the episode. I think having a host would have been nice. Would have been a nice touch to like pay homage to the original show. I watched Richard Jewell. I wrote Richie Jewell, but it's Richard Jewell. The Clint Eastwood movie with Sam Rockwell and the actor who plays Richard Jewell, I don't know his name, and Mama from Waterboy. Kathy Bates.
So that guy who plays Richard Jewell is like a humongous wrestling fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Yeah, he's on all of like the wrestling podcasts and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting.
How is he? Is he not? Has he not acted in anything else?
He's in. He plays like a goofy henchman in something.
Okay. He didn't seem. I didn't recognize him from anywhere.
What the hell is it? It's gonna bother me. But it was like a very popular movie, and he played just like, you know how like there's like the mafia or like the main boss.
Yeah.
And then you have like the two guys and then like the goofy guys and they have to go collect the money or something.
Sure.
So he was like one of those guys in the movie. I can't goddamn remember what it is.
Corky Romano.
Yes.
And then the last thing I watched this week was The Godfather. I watched it with Lindy. Well, I watched most of it with Lindy. She didn't want to see the horse head scene, so I watched the first half and then I called her in after that was over. Great, an amazing movie.
It was a short scene.
Something I did wrong with this movie was that when I was transferring my DVDs to my server so I could watch them privately in my own home, no one else can see them. This is just for me. This is not for distribution. No one else has access to them. I definitely don't call it Matflix and give out all the passwords to my friends. When I transferred the DVD to Matflix, I did not include any of the subtitles because it costs more room on the server. So I figured most movies I don't need subtitles for. And most of the movies that have subtitles that I need are built into the movie.
Right.
Like if there's a movie where someone speaks a different language, you get English subtitles automatically. You don't have to turn them on. The Godfather did not. No. The Godfather is 70% in Italian, yes. So it was tough.
Is it because it was from the 70s?
I don't know. Because Kill Bill did the same thing. Because Kill Bill is a lot of it's in Japanese. A lot of that like that second act is in Japanese. So I had to redo that and add the subtitles, and as soon as you add the subtitles, it automatically knows to grab those subtitles and put them in. DVDs are more advanced than I realized. So
that's pretty crazy.
So I have to redo that because I can't watch Godfather 2 without that. Because there's a large portion of that with Robert De Niro in Italy. So,
well, a lot of them too, like the Queen of the South show I was watching on Netflix.
Yeah,
they're speaking in a different language, and the subtitles are just like foreign language screaming. I'm like, well, what are they saying?
They don't want you to know. It's part of the storytelling. So I was just like,
put the subtitles on?
Lindy was watching it, and she's like, "Are they not? Is it not going to be in subtitles?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't have any subtitles." And so I was just trying to explain what was going on. But you can, Francis Ford Coppola is a great director. So this movie, you don't need, just like Spielberg with his movies, you don't need audio. So we just watched it.
You know what you should have done?
And then when Michael's wife blows up in Italy, spoiler alert, you understand what's going on.
You should have turned to Lindy and said, "You don't know Italian?
You don't know Italian?
Just since you already know what's happening, like, look, this is what's going to happen."
Great movie, by the way.
Yes.
Amazing. So that's what I've been watching. Let's get into the news. So we're gonna skip through a few of these because some of these ended up being debunked. Like the first one, Shia LaBeouf was being eyed for Iceman, aka Bobby Drake. That is not true, Adam, or who wrote that?
I wrote that. That is not true. He is not being eyed for Bobby Drake.
To be fair, when we were first recording,
him for an X-Men role, it's got to be Wolverine.
Wait, hold on. Is this your opinion, or
is this small?
Is this for a fact that he's not being eyed as Bobby Drake anymore?
No, he's not being eyed as Bobby Drake. I don't think it was true in the first place.
Okay, I'll believe you. I'm forced to believe you.
But, no, Ryan, you say Shia LaBeouf is too small. First of all, Shia LaBeouf is jacked.
Not Hugh Jackman. So you're going to... Anyone who's cast as Wolverine is immediately going to be compared to Hugh Jackman.
Character is short. He's
small.
He is
well, that's because of the books. The book. You look at a book page and a movie screen, what's bigger?
Right. He's so small
compared to the other one.
Oh, I thought you meant in general.
No, dummy.
I don't know. Yeah, I just can't picture him. I don't want him to go that route, personally.
You want him to... I'd like...
Stay in, like, tax collector type movies.
Want him to win an
Honey
Oscar,
Boy.
you know what I mean?
That's what he deserves. I mean, I guess you also want to make a ton of money, too, but... So who would you want to play... who would you want to play Iceman, then? I'm not sure who that character is.
There's a lot of clamoring online for the character to be... gay, because in the comic books, I guess I didn't know this actually. Bobby Drake is gay in the comic books. I did not know that.
Yeah, because they stick him with Rogue and then Kitty Pryde in the comics. Oh no, they stick him with Rogue in the movies.
Yeah, right, in the movies.
And Kitty Pryde in the comics, but like none of those are.
So would they want
True.
a gay actor to play him?
That's what it seems like. Again, like just like I was saying, I didn't really know that he was, but if that is true, then I think that would probably be a good move for them to do. But also, I don't really know. I mean, who? I need to see them in the costume for me first.
Yeah.
Like, especially with X-Men. Like for other characters, like okay, like you can kind of like make guesses. Like Hugh Jackman, great Wolverine. Like yeah, we can picture him now because he's played it so many times. But characters like that, like put him in the suit. Like I don't know.
Yeah, because you could get a Nicolas Cage's Superman.
Right.
Let's not move forward with this.
Yeah. Let's please shut it down.
He looks bad.
Burn everything. Burn everything.
Do you guys have super long hair I can wear? Why, Nicholas?
Next up here, Mulan is coming to Disney Plus. But not only do you need Disney Plus, but you also need to pay $30 to see Mulan. Ryan, would you see Mulan for $30 extra on Disney Plus?
I would not.
You would not.
There's not one movie I would see for $30.
Adam, would you pay $30 plus your subscription fee to Disney Plus to see Mulan?
That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
As also a no from me. Number one, it sets a real bad precedent. That's me. And now here's the thing. I say that now. If Black Widow came out on Disney Plus for $30, I might do it. Yeah. Mulan doesn't move the needle.
That's the thing. Like the Mulan is it's for kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
The only
you get
thing
a bunch of screaming kids together that want to see Mulan, and $30 for 2 hours of peace and quiet might be worth it.
Yeah, it is like there's a lot of meaning in the movie, though, which the kids aren't going to get.
Yeah.
But, like, someone like my sister, although my nephew's too young, but, like, say, 4 years from now, my niece is almost 8, my nephew's 4. Like, a movie like that comes on, theaters are open. Is she going to pay $30 to watch it from her living room, or is she going to take her 2 small kids to a theater? You're going to pay at least $10 a ticket.
Yeah.
There's $30. Who wants candy? Who wants popcorn? Who touched my leg? What's going on?
I just don't like I don't like the fact that it's on a streaming service that you already pay for. I would have less of a problem with this, and maybe because this is also new with COVID and everything, like the way the movies are happening. I would feel way better about this if it was on a third-party stream, like a third-party app that you have to pay for these movies, but then eventually it would come to Disney Plus. A lot of times I'll still always wait, but give me the option to buy it. I guess I'm just making it more difficult for people here, and I'm just like talking out of both sides of my face.
Well, I think they must have learned something from Amazon.
Yeah,
because I rent movies or buy movies from Amazon.
That's true, and you also because I think of Amazon number one as like
shipping.
my 2-day shipping.
Yeah, me too.
So it's like a totally different. They offer. Yeah,
I feel like I don't even pay for this app.
I'll never not have Amazon Prime because I always will have 2-day shipping.
Right. What do you? I don't know.
I am not going to pay $30 for Mulan. Like I said, if Black Widow comes out, I might.
Matt, you and I talked about New Mutants. Like if we got together and it was, I don't know, if it was $30 and you and I, I'd split that 30 with you to watch New Mutants.
Yeah, I think it's motivation to watch the movie. I think it's how bad. Also, here's the thing. Here's another thing. I am super motivated to see Tenet. But if that came out on streaming services and I had to pay $30 or whatever it is on top of the streaming service, I wouldn't do it. But it's not because I have to pay on top of the streaming service. It's because I want to see that shit in IMAX. I don't want to see it at home. New Mutants, I can watch at home. Black Widow, I could probably watch at home.
You want to see Black Widow in theaters?
Yeah, I mean, Black Widow, I'm riding the line. I think I could watch it at home and get enough out of it, but I also think I couldn't watch Endgame at home. I'd have to see it in the theaters. I do watch Endgame now at home, but because I already saw it in the theaters.
Yeah. So it would have to be a movie
that... if you had to watch Mad Max Fury Road at home.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Every time I watch that movie, I think every time I put that on, I always say to myself, I'm like, I really wish I could be watching this on the big screen right now. There's never a time where I'm not depressed that I can't see that in theaters again. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So Mulan, $30. You're going to be able to see that. If not already, but pretty soon it's going to be. Is it out?
It's out, yeah.
Okay, so $30, Mulan on Disney Plus. Now, here's a question. Can you buy it from Disney Plus without a subscription? I don't know.
Like kind of like sign in as a guest and just watch it?
Yeah, I don't know. Or just go to like the Disney Plus website and buy it. I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't know how that works. I think that's a functionality you probably would want to add, right?
100%.
Because you don't want to have...
Because you're still making the $30.
You're making a hurdle for people that don't have Disney Plus to get this movie. Right. I would think that's possible. I don't know. I'm just... Someone look that up and find out for yourselves if you're interested. Blockbuster, the last Blockbuster ever, turned into an Airbnb. And it costs $5 a night to stay, and they're doing it for a limited time. Did you guys see the picture of this?
Yes.
Very fucking cool. Very, very cool that they still have this last Blockbuster, even though I don't even think it's technically a Blockbuster anymore, right? Because Blockbuster doesn't exist.
No.
Is it still an online service? Because it was for a while.
Let's see. I'm going to click on the link. That's really cool.
It is really cool.
Imagine if they haven't cleaned it.
You can only do it if you live in the town
that
it's in.
All stale candy and sticky floors in there.
But it's very cool.
It does look really cool.
The thing is, here's the thing. Here's the thing, fellas. I don't care about it being an Airbnb. It's a cool concept. If that was in Providence, I don't think I would do it. It just seems weird to me. Also, there's like big glass windows in front. Like anybody can just walk by and look in.
Kids, the people are watching us.
Right. I want an actual movie store to reopen, and it's not going to do great business. But this one clearly could stay open for whatever reason, and they're not charging big bucks for the Airbnb, dude. They could have put that out to auction, and it would have went for big money,
huge money.
Some rich guy or girl that doesn't care what they're doing with their money would just blow money to be in there, definitely. And that would be an influencer's wet dream to take pictures from inside the last Blockbuster. Fucking make all types of fucking ad deals.
Oh my god!
In there, forget.
Surprised they're doing it for only. That's not great. It's not great business sense. But maybe that's why Blockbuster went under.
Maybe, but also that's what I'm saying. Like they must do pretty well on their own. Whoever owns this company. I mean, if it is Blockbuster and Blockbuster is still an online entity, and they just like keep this open just because.
It said she owns like just the real estate.
So that's what I'm saying. So I wonder if I'm sure Blockbuster doesn't care. How can you possibly hurt Blockbuster's reputation, right?
Which really was no fault of their own. They just got usurped by a stronger, smarter male.
Right. So that's that. We got the Blockbuster Airbnb. Here's a cool one that I saw yesterday. There's a Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz documentary happening.
I am interested.
Directed by Amy Poehler.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
I am super excited. I've been working I've basically been working in assembly line the last couple of weeks making these PPE products for schools. And it's basically just an assembly line. And every time I think of an assembly line, I think of Lucy on the chocolate assembly line, and she's wrapping the chocolates, and she gets too far ahead, and she's just shoving them in her mouth. I loved I Love Lucy. Did you guys both watch I Love Lucy?
100%. It's fantastic. I actually tape it on YouTube TV.
Like, honestly, do you really?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, not live.
It comes on Nick at Night.
We didn't watch it when it was new, but...
I did.
You watched the Nick and Night reruns.
Yeah, it's just like... It's what pretty much every sitcom that came after it based things on, from like the romantic relationship, which a lot of stuff they couldn't do. In, like,
the friends down the hall.
Yeah. Like everything. You had this, everything. Like everything was based off of that, but they were the originators in Lucy and Desi and the other. I forgot the other two, what their names were, but they were just. I don't know. It's and it's timeless. It really is timeless. It's so funny.
Yep. I remember thinking about Desi Arnaz and thinking Ricky Ricardo. I would think, I'd be like, this guy has it all. He's the
coolest guy.
He's got this nice apartment, this nice little apartment. He goes out to the club at night and plays. He's the band leader, right? He was the band leader.
Yeah.
This guy is the man. I'm super excited for the casting of this movie.
Yes.
Because I think you need to nail it. And oh no, you know what? I'm sorry. This is not a biopic. This is a documentary. So no. So the original characters will be playing those characters. But maybe if they do reenactments.
Get Amy Adams in there. Benicio del Toro. Oh, he's going dark with this one.
I feel like a younger Antonio Banderas would have nailed it.
Yeah.
I think he might be a little too old now.
Yeah, maybe he's had a heart
attack. He
attack.
Still looks great. Oh, that's not great.
He's okay. But
okay. Is he okay?
I think so.
Okay.
Said he's okay.
You're saying that's on you if he's not okay.
That's awesome though.
It's on you.
Is it just like still getting?
Yeah, it's still getting its feet under it. All we know is Amy Poehler is attached to direct. And
long overdue.
Yeah,
like that type of.
I think this is very cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Very cool. I think, and also like you said, like a lot of yeah, you're gonna see a lot of like other sitcoms where they got their inspiration. They got their inspiration from here, and a lot of that.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see more of Fred and Ethel too. They were my favorites.
That was the neighbors.
Fred and Ethel.
Okay.
Yeah. Fred and Ethel. What a name, Ethel. I'm name my son Ethel. Okay. Did you guys see the Mickey Mouse RI tax returns thing? We'll just hit this quickly. Did you see that, Adam?
No, I didn't.
So
I just got my power back at my house.
Oh, welcome to the 21st century, you Amish piece of crap.
Buck Rogers.
Welcome to the 21st century, Buck Rogers. The Rhode Island Division of Taxation sent out tax return checks in the month of July, I believe it was.
It was.
Signed by none other than Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney. You want to know how this was accomplished? First of all, it's Rhode Island.
Neil.
And this is all Neil's fault. I actually texted Neil and I was like,
it's Neil's.
What happened here? And he's like, I can laugh about it because it wasn't me. So
that's how he gets Gina out.
So from what I read is that it was in the software that makes these checks, that makes the templates. I think you can plug in a template, and maybe the thing that came with the software, or maybe the thing that someone put in there just as a placeholder, was Mickey Mouse's signature and Walt Disney's signature. So they were put on I don't think it was thousands. I think it was hundreds of checks. And went out to people.
Yeah,
I want one of those checks.
I know.
They're good for nothing. They were avoided immediately, but that would be pretty cool to have one of those checks.
Okay, see, kids,
Oh,
Mickey
yeah.
Mouse sent me a check.
Only in Rhode Island. One more thing about Rhode Island. I was looking at this, you know how they put on Twitter, here's the most ate fast food in this state, and it's always fucking inaccurate. But for Rhode Island, the biggest tourist attraction, or the biggest attraction, maybe just attraction, they put the Big Blue Bug. Do you guys agree with that?
It's on the side of the highway. What do you do?
It's just an attraction.
What?
I've never driven on the other side of the Big Blue Bug.
Yeah, no, never.
Big Blue
Broad
Bug.
Street?
Scary over
Broad
there.
Street? Yeah, you can avoid that area.
But it's not an attraction. You see it from the highway.
Right, but that's the attraction. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if they're wrong, and I don't know what that says about our state.
Calamari. Ninja
Not the Newport
Calamari.
Mansion?
Ninja Calamari. No, the Newport Mansion's Adam. Very good. I think that might save us here.
What about the big salt pile?
I think you put the
Right
big
over
salt pile. Yeah, if you look the opposite way, you see the salt pile. That's great. You also can see wooden pilings from what people say is a Civil War ship, but I don't think that's true. I can't imagine that's
It
true.
can't still be there.
People say that there's still wood there. Back in the early 1900s, you could see it better, but it's there. I don't know. Yeah. So it's not an attraction anymore, but it used to be maybe. But yeah, Adam, I think the Newport Mansions, I think you're right.
I feel like just Coastline is a better attraction than the Big Blue Bug.
Yeah, you saved the state on that one.
Newport Mansions.
Thank me later, Rhode Island.
Edgar Allan Poe's house.
I've left though.
All right, the Batman trailer. Do we want to save this for the end, or do we want to just go now?
No,
we can save it for the end.
All right, let's save it for the end. So, who wants to talk about the Toon Squad jerseys? We saw LeBron James in the new Toon Squad jersey.
I like it. You know why? Because I like LeBron James, and I'm so sick of everyone giving him shit for no reason.
Yeah.
He just happens to be the most popular athlete on the planet, and at the worst time to be that.
I have no problem with it.
No,
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool.
I think the jerseys are cool, but I mean, I probably won't see the movie until well after it's come out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Someone I was listening to another podcast, the CU podcast, the Completely Unnecessary podcast, and these two guys were talking about it, and they said that he hopes. One of the guys said he hopes that it's better than the original. And I was in my head, I'm like, yeah, me too. A sequel, I think, ideally should be better than the original. And then he elaborated in saying that the first movie sucked. Who on this planet has the balls to say that Space Jam sucks?
That's a bad thing.
How?
Where do you even start? First of all, Michael Jordan is in it, and he's a basketball player. First thing there, you're not looking at Leonardo DiCaprio in a movie, so you're not really looking. This is also a movie where it's real people and animated characters,
Monstars.
and Bill Murray plays himself.
And
Right.
Newman's in it.
Right. Yeah, Newman's in it, and you have the Looney Tunes. I've never heard anybody said they thought it was bad. That
Did he give
Space Jam
a
was bad.
justification for
No,
it?
he just said it was bad.
Yeah, see,
Danny
then
DeVito is
he's
the
an
villain.
idiot. Danny DeVito is the villain.
Yes, that is true. But he's a monster. He's a monster.
With the big cigar.
Yeah, I like that cigar. The big old cigar.
No, that movie's awesome. Like, how old is the people that do these podcasts? Are they like?
He's a little older than us.
Really?
Which is shocking.
They said they could say, "Oh, this movie, like, it sucked when it came out." No, they're probably a couple of years older than us.
No, these people
and, like, I don't know.
No, these people.
They're probably from Utah. They're probably Jazz fans and pissed off so much.
No, so
they shit all over them.
One of them is actually a Knicks fan, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes total sense. But they were growing up and like watching basketball in their early teens when Michael Jordan was like at his prime, like when Michael Jordan made Space Jam. So it's like,
Space Jam was 94.
Right, so right in between the two runs, or no, right in the middle of the first one. When
towards the end of the first one. So he won 91, 92, 93.
Okay. So, yeah. So, anyway, they said it was bad. I'm tired. I went on that tangent. But, yeah, I have no problem with the New Jersey. I think it looks cool. I think it's an updated, nice thing. I'm curious because you saw a bit of LeBron acting in Trainwreck, that movie Trainwreck.
He was very good.
Well, he's very good, right. Yeah. So, I'm excited to see what he can do with a more prominent role. Also, I have a sucker for cartoons and the Looney Tunes, and I love when you can get them in movies. The only way this could be better is if they switched it up and they did not do Looney Tunes and they did Muppets instead.
Whoa.
Right?
Send that
would
to
take
the
it to
head.
the level.
That would take it to the next level, like fucking Kermit, Fozzie, Gonzo.
And it's definitely...
Fuck it, bring in the Sesame Street characters, too. They're Muppets.
Get Big Bird in there. Big Bird is the center.
Snuffleupagus.
Count Chocula.
Maybe it's the Looney Tunes versus the Muppets.
You know what? Get LeBron out of there.
Okay, just don't put LeBron in it at all. And then last here, Olivia Wilde has been tapped to direct a Marvel movie, a Sony Marvel movie to be exact. She tweeted this out, so it is pretty much confirmed. And she also put a little spider emoji with it. So, Adam, who can we speculate? What character is she going to go after in the Spider-Verse to make a movie of?
So I think everybody is jazzed up for her to do Spider-Woman, who I know nothing about.
Right.
But I'm holding out for Spider-Gwen.
I am too. I think that what I read was, and this is all just conjecture, I think, is people. I think that she was leaning away, not leaning away from Spider-Gwen, but I think that the project is leaning away from Spider-Gwen as a whole. I think
okay.
I think we're more.
Yeah, maybe saving her for the Tom Holland arc at one point.
Yeah.
She's so like from what I understand, like Spider-Gwen is a spawn, stems from the Spider-Man run, and Spider-Woman is her own entity.
Yes, she is the Spider.
I was doing a little research, and it was something like she was born Spider-Woman. You know what I mean? She was born special.
Yes, I think that is correct. I don't know much about her as well, but Olivia Wilde directed Booksmart. Booksmart, very good.
Same writer too is attached, and then the producers from Spider-Man: Far From Home.
There we go.
Doing this movie, so I feel like that's a really good collab.
Sign me up.
Yep.
I like it.
They're off to a good start.
I mean, that's all we got for movie news. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
Do you want to? I thought we were going to talk Batman.
Oh fuck
just
yeah!
For a hot.
Yeah,
we did a whole
yeah
shebang on Batman and DC fandom. But Matt and I have talked enough about this. What I want to hear from Ryan and get his thoughts on the Batman trailer.
Yeah. Well, it looks terrible. I mean, to start. No, I'm very excited. I mean, just looking at it, to know that they're only a quarter of the way through production is unreal.
Yeah.
The footage they already have, and I'm just so excited for Colin Farrell. I'm so excited for Paul Dano. I think Jeffrey Wright looks awesome as Jim Gordon. Mm-hmm. Now, I watched a couple breakdowns of the trailer on Nerdist and IGN. So this movie is taking place during Batman Year 2.
Correct.
This is kind of the early version of Batman. So it's way, because I always compare everything to Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So it's way before that.
Yes.
He doesn't have all this power and money and
nobody really knows who he is. Nobody knows if he's a good guy or a bad guy at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks awesome. I mean, the trailer they put together with the amount of footage they have is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a gritty superhero type movie, like they did with the latest Wolverine, and then all the Dark Knight ones. The one question I have, I never had heard of or seen Pete Savage, who's the commissioner.
Keith Savage. I don't know.
He's like the guy with the beard. I watched like a breakdown of the...
I remember from the trailer.
Yeah, in the trailer he has like the beard, and he's like Jim Gordon's, I guess, boss.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene where Batman's like has like a tussle with all the cops in like an interrogation room.
Yeah.
So I feel like he might be corrupt.
Yeah, so we were speculating that might be. There's a scene in there's a part in one of the video games that is this very similar scene where Batman goes after someone who's a crooked cop in the GCPD. So we speculated that was what was happening there. Did you, in that trailer breakdown, did they break out all of, like, did they show you who they think Colin Farrell, or who I guess is confirmed Colin Farrell is?
Yeah, so he's the Penguin.
Isn't that crazy?
Before he's like, all those, he looks huge. You know what he looks like? And I can't think of the goddamn guy's name. He looks like Bob Hoskins, the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
And Super Mario?
Yeah, he looks like him with like hair.
Yeah.
In that scene where he's driving the police car, he looks like him. And I'm like, oh, I know it's not him. Yeah. I think he passed away, but...
Yeah, he did.
But I'm like, I know it's not him, and I'm like, who the hell's that
Great
guy?
actor, by the way.
Fantastic actor. Actually, he was in, Holly and I watched Made in Manhattan.
He's in that.
Jennifer Lopez? Yeah.
Do you know he was supposed to be Al Capone in The Untouchables?
Really?
Hell of a movie.
Interesting. Great actor. But I can't believe how well they dressed him up. I'm hoping he gets like a good...
It's interesting because we have Adam and I were talking, and like the Riddler is in this movie. That's Paul Dano. We both speculated that Paul Dano is the guy who has the mask like duct taped to his head.
He's the one who opens the trailer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he's the one who sends Batman the card.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the riddle.
So, and then there's also a few other, like Adam picked out. There's Falcone is named, the Falcone family or whatever is named in a newspaper headline.
Right. John Turturro is playing he's the boss of the Falcone crime family.
But he doesn't play Carmine Falcone, right? He plays someone else.
No, he's Carmine Falcone.
He is
the boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then I didn't know, I was in the breakdown I read or listened to, that he has a connection to the Bruce Wayne's parents.
So here's the thing. So speaking of Bruce Wayne's parents, I didn't see that, but there's a hot rumor going around in the internet streets that somehow that the Court of Owls is involved. And I don't know if you know much about it, Ryan, but the Court of Owls is a relatively new Batman villain. I'm pretty sure Scott Snyder created them, Matt.
Yes, in the New 52.
And it's a secret society of Gotham's elite that have been running the city for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And I think like the hot rumor is that the Riddler is trying to expose, like he's going after Batman and trying to expose, that the Waynes were part of this group.
Yeah, that's the breakdown I saw, and the card that the Riddler sends Batman, on the front of it is an owl, and then on the top right is like a skull and crossbones.
Yes.
Which is supposed to signify that. And they said that the Wayne family has a connection to Falcone, to the Court of Owls, so that their death was actually not like an accident. It was part of what was happening.
The comic run is awesome. It's amazing. Yeah. Really, really, really good. Adam, right? You like it too.
Oh yeah, I love it. And Matt, also too, like I was thinking about, I watched the trailer again. There's a part of the trailer where I don't know. It's Jim Gordon is reading the riddle, and there's a part in the riddle that like the word "who," like an owl says "who," separate from the rest of the riddle.
No, it's on the front of the card.
No, but but Jim Gordon, like, he reads it.
Yeah, I think but when he opens the card, it says "who," but it's supposed to be like an owl hooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very exciting stuff. The whole.
And Zoe Kravitz is Selena Kyle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Adam, do you think we'll get a Lincoln March appearance in any of these Batman movies with Robert Pattinson? Lincoln March. So Lincoln, I don't want
to. That's Hush, right?
Yes. Well, he's also in the Court of Owls too.
He is in the Court of Owls. Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
In the Court of Owls, I don't want to give a spoiler away that could be part of the movie. That would fuck everything up. But you know about his.
Aren't they after the Court of Owls is after Dick Grayson, right?
Yes.
To be to be one of their assassins.
Correct. And Lincoln March gets brought in, and there's this whole like arc with him and Bruce Wayne that happens. I'm trying to jog your memory on it, but anyway, if you remember that, it's an interesting wrinkle that could be put into the this whole thing with him being in the Court of Owls.
Yeah, I've actually got all my Scott Snyder comics in a box right next to me right now. So if I'm feeling froggy, maybe I'll dive into the Court of Owls again soon.
I would like to reread that whole Batman New 52 series. I have most of them. Right through like Death in the Family.
I have all of them if you want to borrow them, but that's my favorite Batman run.
I think I have up until Zero Year, or Zero Year, not Zero Year. I don't know. The one with the mech is on the cover, the Bat mech.
Oh, that's the one when Jim Gordon takes over.
Yeah,
as Batman.
Yeah, right.
What's the name of that one?
And who's that Skull Face gang? Like the one with like the Papa Shango face paint?
Yeah, I don't know anything really about them.
The guy who like gave the breakdown of the video couldn't identify them.
Yeah, I don't know. Adam, right? We were talking last week.
This week. Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
Could be new characters. Could be something, some throwaway thing.
He said the only thing that he noticed is some of them had like the
smiles. Yeah,
like the Joker.
Yeah,
but it's like super early on.
But technically, the Joker doesn't exist in this universe, right?
Not yet.
Technically, yeah.
Right, not yet, or not at all, whatever.
Or maybe it could be like the Joker's
followers or
boss.
something. Or, right.
Not boss, but like a guy he took it over from or something,
Maybe.
Got inspiration from, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Yes, very, very excited.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Man, I can't believe it's only a quarter filmed. I'm so excited for this movie to come out.
So what like decade do you think it's going to be? Because it's at the end it was $0, $1. So it could be 3041.
Right, it could be. That would suck because we'd all be dead.
Well, not necessarily.
That's true. I'm going to download my consciousness into a computer. We're pretty close.
With advances in modern science and my high level of income, there's no reason I can't live to be, maybe 250, 400.
Imagine that. Imagine if they made like a, how fucking mad people would be if they made a Batman movie and then the director was like, but hey, listen, this is going in a time capsule. It would be outrage. Outrage in the streets.
there would be riots in the streets.
It'd be crazy. But
more riots in the streets.
Right, more riots in the streets. It fucking looks awesome. Super excited for it. I'm super excited to see more. Adam and I say, right now we're pretty solid on saying that we are not going to watch any more trailers. That's what we say now.
Yeah, for this in the Snyder Cut, we are, as of this second, we are on a trailer freeze. That's all we need to see until it comes out.
I'm on a trailer freeze until the next trailer comes out. That's how I'm going to play it.
Yeah, I am not part of this. I love trailers. I love a good trailer.
Here's the thing.
Put some music to
There's
it.
nothing wrong, I think, inherently. There's nothing inherently wrong with watching a movie trailer. You should be excited for these movie trailers. It's what the emotion they want to convey. But when you fuck it up, like Batman v Superman, I lose all trust in what marketing departments deem respectable to show in a trailer. Fucking don't show me the whole thing. Keep it a mystery. I'm still everybody's going to see this movie.
Don't show me Doomsday. Don't show me Wonder Woman.
No.
Well, then what you got to do is you got to wait for the trailer to drop, give it 2 days, search on Twitter because people will tell you if they've given too much away.
That's a dangerous game too, though. You start searching around once the trailer's out on Twitter.
Yeah, that's true.
Twitter's liable to either show you a video you don't want to see or tell you in text, and I hate it.
There's no way. If this is only a quarter of the way
if I muted the word Batman from my Twitter, there would be nobody tweeting. All I do is follow people that talk about Batman.
Ryan, I'm glad you mentioned that Logan, the last Wolverine movie, because that's the vibe that I got from this movie. Like when I saw the Logan trailer, it just looked like a badass redemption story movie where the main character just happens to be a superhero. You know what I mean? This looks like a badass crime thriller where the main character just happens to be Batman.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I like The Dark Knight so much because it was
right.
You could have subbed out Batman for Bruce Wayne if Bruce Wayne wasn't Batman, and then it's just Bruce Wayne who's trying to find his way through Gotham or whatever. It doesn't. There's not necessarily there's a superhero aesthetic to it, but that's not anywhere close to being the main point of it. And that's
right.
I think that's the beauty of it. And to be able to do that fine line but also appease the comic book fans, the people who need you to stay true to certain things is so hard. I mean, I trust Matt Reeves to do it, especially based off what I've seen. But that's such a fine line to do. Because you do like a random crime thriller where the characters mean nothing to people. All right, maybe you can pull that off. Now you're messing with like one of the most iconic characters in the history of comic books, TV, film. And you need to make it like interesting because there's a lot of people that they hear Batman, they're like, I don't want to watch Batman. I don't want to, I'm done with Batman. Like, I'm done with comic books. Like, I'm done with superhero things. So you're trying to get those people too.
The other thing is the sample size of Batman content is getting larger and larger, and there's more and more stuff to compare it to, good stuff to compare it to. When the Nolan trilogy came out, you didn't really have much to compare it to. Like, that was really good, right? People enjoyed the 90s Batman movies. People enjoyed Michael Keaton as Batman. That was a good movie.
And there was so much time between them.
Right.
But his was the only
now it's Batman.
Serious one.
All the DC
Everything
movies, superhero comic book movies coming out. So there's a lot to compare it to. And it'll be heavily compared to the Nolan. If it ends up being a trilogy, which we don't know if that's confirmed. Adam and I were talking about that. It'll be highly compared to the Nolan trilogy. How could it not be? Whether fairly or unfairly.
It has to be.
It's going to be totally, it seems like it's going to be totally different, which I love. It's Batman, though. Batman's a character that's been done a bunch of times.
So it's always going to be compared to the past ones, especially if it has that same vibe to it.
Yeah.
And Holly's actually watching the Twilight trilogies. How far Pattinson has come.
Right.
Those movies are fucking terrible, but...
Yeah, I watched one scene of one movie of that. I don't know. You know what, though? If I watched it, I probably wouldn't enjoy it.
It's a shame because him and Kristen Stewart are so good. They're great actors and actresses.
I haven't seen Underwater. I want to see that.
Very good.
Yeah?
Very good.
I want to see that.
Did you see that? Alien Underwater?
No, we gotta get together and watch that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'd watch it again with you guys. It was very good.
Cool.
Well, we didn't ask you, so.
Well, I'm going to show up anyway.
Wow.
I'll watch through the window.
This has been the Average Nobody's Podcast number 94 for August 26th, 2020. That's it for today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. It's less exciting as the first time I did it with the wrong... Did I say 94?
Yes.
Okay, 94.
And you got the date right.
And I got the date right. Well, I got the date right the first time, to be fair.
True. Hey, 2 for 2.
That's it. Talk to you guys later.